The Red Scare broke out due to widespread paranoia from the Bolshevik Revolution, a Russian revolution that had just ended in which Vladimir Lenin led the Bolshevik Party to take over the autocratic government and change it to communism. The United States was fearful of communism spreading in the nation, and Americans were beginning to be wary of any outbreak in the public, thus fueling the American labor movement and the growing anti-immigration movement. There were multiple strikes, raids, riots, and bombing campaigns that changed the nation. The Red Scare had a great impact in terms of trust and propaganda on the American people and especially the American workforce. The first major event of the Red Scare was the Seattle General Strike, which broke out on February 5, 1919. About 60,000 shipyard laborers went on strike for better wages, working conditions, and hours. Those on strike were usually associated with either one of two groups, the AFL, American Federation of Labor, or the IWW, Industrial Workers of the World. The IWW were leaders in attempting to enforce radical ideology both in and outside the strikes. The American public thought that a strike this big was too similar to the Bolshevik Revolution and claimed that the laborers on strike were using this as a cover-up for trying to turn the United States into a communist society. The Boston police strike was fueled by poor wages, working conditions, and hours. On September 8, 1919, Commissioner Edwin Upton Curtis suspended 19 officers for trying to join a union. The labor movement had become a big target for the evolving Communist Party, and Commissioner Curtis saw those on strike joining in communism. Governor Calvin Coolidge was quoted saying, "There is no right to strike against public safety anywhere." When the strike concluded, all the police officers that were on strike were not to come back to the police force. The commissioner felt that they had betrayed their nation and sided with communism. After being given two different bomb threats, General A. Mitchell Palmer led the Palmer Raids, in which he was determined to find any who associated themselves with the leftist groups. Palmer used the Immigration Act of 1918 to justify his raids. The act regulated immigration against anarchists. Undercover informants wore wires and recorded conversations that were later used in court to deport over 500 immigrants who were caught trying to spread communism in America. Even though the first Red Scare lasted only a short while, it left a great impact on the American people and our history.